Banjos have rights.
Yeah, in the Emancipation Banjamation, they clearly outlined.
The Banjamation.
A Banjamation sounds like the final boss in Banjo Hero.
Yeah, that sounds like it's like a step above the self-contained hootenanny.
Hootenanny
is a Banjamation.
It's 4 banjos in one box. Just going for it.
Oh, man. All right.
Bring us in.
And that was Witty Banter. We'll be right back.
No, won't stop the way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
PPC.
I kick back,
Oh,
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh, yeah.
And now I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try.
Hello, and welcome y'all to Y'all Boys Talkin, a podcast about nonsensical improvement where each week we not only talk about bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves. It's like amazing. My name is Joshua Jean Baptiste.
Frank Hernandez.
I'm Maximo Santana.
And Steve Della Valentina, our fourth co-host, is no longer. Wait, hold on. Whoa! Oh!
Who's?
Oh my God! Oh my God! He has returned. Steve Della Valentina is in the building. He's walking down the ramp to his microphone.
He's attacking the rock.
He's attacking the rock. Yo, what up, Steve?
Whew, hey, what's up, guys?
Steve Della Valentina is here. He has returned from his wedding interlude. Welcome back, bro.
Thank you. It's nice to be back. And
That's awesome.
yeah, legally not single anymore.
All right.
Legally.
Well, the four of us have known each other for quite some time, and we have come up with the concept to kind of help us push through the trials and tribulations of adulthood called STTT, straight to the top. Hey, Max, why don't you tell us what that is?
STTT, straight to the top, is like putting together an awesome gaming PC.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you're going to need a strong processor, which is a good head on your shoulders that knows what your goals are. You're going to need a decent amount of RAM, which is just the bandwidth to get all your goals done.
Facts.
You're going to need some strong fans, good cooling. And that just means knowing when to take a break, take a rest, don't overheat.
True.
True. And you're going to need an awesome graphics card. And that's just feeling good, looking good, having a great positive attitude on life. You put all that together, you hit the power button, and zoop, turn on your goals, your dreams, and make your way straight to the top.
Wow.
Damn, can you play Crysis on that?
Crysis 4. Maximum FPS.
That is the top.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. Well, we are welcoming Steve back. Bro, how are you, man? Where you been, bro?
I've been here, I've been there, but now I got to go everywhere. And that, I mean, I'm doing awesome. We're doing awesome, me and my wife.
Hip-hop horns.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Very, very cool, fun word to say. Whenever I'll never stop saying, or I'll never get. It's cool, man. Yeah,
That is awesome.
You sound
You are the first
overwhelmed,
boy.
excited.
Yeah,
You are
no.
the first boy to get married. I wonder who's next.
Roll some
Actually,
dice.
Steve, I did want to bring something up. So we talked a little bit last week about the wedding, or from our perspective and whatnot. We definitely want to hear a bit from you about like the itself, the ceremony, how cold it was. Like, take us to like an hour before the wedding, where things got a little
Boy.
crazy.
Yeah, so if I thought these past 2 months were stressful in planning all this, but that hour before, oh man, that was like climbing up a volcano, and things are just you could kind of feel the ground shaking, and the heat was turning up, and everything couldn't have gone less smoothly. It was a good like half and half. The we got to the event or to the venue like 30 minutes after we were supposed to take like some photos, like getting ready. Celeste was getting ready in her room and me in mine. And yeah, neither of us bought the rings or the veil or the bouquets. And we were just like, yeah, we kind of need those to get started. So I tasked Max and Josh to be clutch and run back to our place to get the rings and the veil. And lo and behold, like after a bit of scrambling around and just putting things together, we got everything. We got a wedding. We got a stew. The bouquet we didn't notice until like the day after, but that was like a little mishap. And in terms of stress and being nervous, I came up first, and it was all fun, and up until we were getting our vows, and I was like, oh man, please don't cry, I don't want to cry. So I had to hold that back, and once we started walking, it was all smooth sailing. And yeah, at that point it was just waiting for like the re-entrance into like the reception. And at that point I was just like, we let loose, we had a good old time, there was karaoke, and then there was this and that.
Fucking conga line, man.
Yeah, it was a grand old time. So absolutely worth all that stress.
Beautiful.
That is amazing, bro. Well, welcome to your respective top, bro.
Yeah,
I think it's only up from here.
Yeah. This is definitely the most relationships I've been. I don't know how to word that. this is
most relationship.
Yeah, definitely the top of my relationship.
Wow, that is so dope, Steve. Props to you for reaching your respective top. But that brings us actually to our first segment, STTT of the week.
STTT of the week.
STTT of the week is a person, place, or thing that has exemplified STTT-ness, or just something plain old freaking awesome. And this week, our STTT award goes to Mr. Keanon Lowe.
Ooh.
Now, this is the first STTT of its kind because he didn't necessarily achieve any goal, because I'm sure no one wishes for a goal to do this, but sometimes you stumble on to straight to the topness. So recently, some footage came out that revealed that Keanon was a hero, and he brought a school gunman to ease by killing him with kindness. A Mr. Angel Granados Diaz came into a classroom armed, ready to kill himself, and Mr. Keanon, got a chance to calm him down, and he hugged him out and consoled him before the police officers arrived to take him into custody. I highly recommend looking up Keanon Lowe and looking at the footage. This happened a really long time ago, but now that it's coming out, like, people are really realizing, oh my God, this is amazing. Not saying that if there's a school shooter in your spot to try to do that, but I think in this specific situation, it took a hella amount of courage and a hella amount of selflessness to put himself in harm's way. But not only that, but to go after this with love. I mean, I'm shocked by this. My ass would have ducked and covered, but I'm really happy that there are people out here that are dead ass heroes and kind of align themselves with that in the moment to make it happen. What do you guys think?
No, like, you guys were describing the video to me before we started recording, and I started tearing up. I started legitimately tearing up to hear just such a beautiful act of kindness being used for something that could have been so devastating to an entire school. People, every time in the news we hear about another school shooting or another thing that brings us down, that makes it seem like everything's dangerous and horrible all the time, but then all of a sudden you see someone dealing with this type of situation with love. Damn, kid.
Yeah.
Like, that that means the world to me.
Big facts. I mean, if he was scared, somebody's life would have been not on the line, So that is
absolutely. And it just kind of brings into the mind of these school shooters. Sometimes they just need someone to listen to them, someone to hug them, someone to show them some love. Maybe they haven't been getting that from places they wanted to. So anytime someone is just offering that, like, it just goes to show you, like, these people aren't even all monsters. They're not like all homicidal maniacs. They're people crying out for attention. They're people that are asking for help in very unhelpful ways a lot of the time. But as long as they can get that help, it seems like they can be receptive to that, and you can prevent and stop some crazy things from happening too.
Yeah, sending kindness and love should not be used as a thing to stop something, but it should be as a way to prevent other things. So we give our flowers to you, Mr. Keanon Lowe. Shout out to you. I hope they gave you all the love and all the awards and all the things for doing that, because Lord knows what could have happened if you weren't there. On that note, we're going to take a quick break to get to the meat and potatoes of our episode. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. BRB.
Hi, it's me again, Old Man Halloween. With spooky season coming towards an end this week, I know a lot of y'all is looking ahead at them Christmas lights. But remember, there's a holiday between now and then, and that's Thanksgiving. So, don't be a weirdo and start hanging up Christmas lights on November 1st. Wait till December. Hell, wait till December 15th. Otherwise, you gonna be a dumbass. Be safe and happy Halloween.
And we are back. Now is the time for the meat and potatoes of our episode, our challenge checkup. Cue sound. Challenge checkup! Oh, so long ago, Max came up with this crazy idea to give each other New Year's resolutions, or challenges as we like to call them. And in our last saga, you witnessed us over the course of 6 months trying to achieve these said goals. But this time we've switched it up. Now, this time we have one personal challenge, which is a challenge that we've given ourselves, a friend challenge, which is a challenge that we have given each other, and a community impact challenge, which is a challenge that obviously has to affect the community. But there are some stakes.
The stakes are that we have to complete all of these challenges by March 1st, 2020. If we do not complete all of these challenges by that time, we will be given one of 4 punishments, which include a week without recreational internet, 2 weeks without any entertainment whatsoever, 3 weeks where we have to eat just one type of meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or because we love our facial hair so gosh darn much, we'll have to spend an entire month baby-faced with no facial hair. But if we complete all of our challenges, we will each be receiving a Y'all Boys Talkin' Championship belt, which will rank from a really cool belt, the more effort we put in, to a not so great belt if we don't put as much effort in. All in all, we all have to do this together on our way to the top.
All right, let's get straight into it. Mr. Steve Della Valentina, as a lovely welcome present, we would love for you to kick us off. What you got for us?
Well, guys, it's been an eventful 2 weeks, as of which, I've been keeping up, seeing I've been getting a lot of NSYNC buys. Mm-hmm. And this week, I gotta say, I'm gonna cry.
Oh no!
So
Bars.
I'll start with my first challenge.
What are your challenges?
So my challenges are to build a video game, which is one I took upon myself. The other one is to promote and teach digital literacy amongst the elderly community, which is my community challenge. And my friend challenge from you guys is to run and train for a 5K marathon. So I'll start with the literacy, in that it was agreed upon with the organization I'm working with that I wouldn't really be able to do much this week since I was still in vacation. So I would say I got a bye because there's not much I could really do. And I'm starting next week though.
Okay. I'm fine with this bye, but
yeah.
We'll see you next week.
It's a final goodbye.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But just know, moving forward, Steve, the hammer is going to come crashing down.
But
yeah. We've been taking it a little easy right now.
Oh, right. But as
for
the other two, the other two challenges, straight up, hey man, I wouldn't give myself buys, but I would give myself 2 Fs.
And why is that?
I didn't really get back into the groove of things, or back in San Francisco, like really into my routine until this past Thursday. So I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and like this, past hour that I've been awake. And yes, I could have found some time to do these kind of things, to work on my challenges, but realistically, I wanted to spend more time with Celeste, my new in-laws, and, just ease back into things. And, maybe that might be it might not be the best for my grades, but I think it's best for myself because it has been a very strenuous few months leading up to this, event. So I do want to say I'm much more elated with how everything is basically done, and I can focus this upcoming week on actually achieving everything I'm setting out to do.
Yeah, you're getting back into the barrel.
Whatever that means.
Question, Steve, because this will impact my next thing. Did you conceptualize anything about how you're going to be doing your running or your video game next week? Have you put any thought, any like real
especially
thoughts?
with the recent changes you've had in your life?
Exactly.
How's that all going to work together?
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a lot of more mental and emotional space to think about other things now that there's no wedding planning or anything around that. I did promise one of my coworkers that I would be joining him for the Insanity group that he runs every day after work. So that'll cover a lot of my working out, working on the video game. Now that I have the actual device, I can work on it, which is the relative to that of my job. I can take that home and I can work on it here. And as for the community goal, yeah, like I said, I'm starting this Wednesday, so things are just kind of shifting into gear, and I'm getting going.
Okay, so I would like to take that conceptual work, and as the last wedding gift, I'd like to give you a D for both of those challenges. Even though you didn't put any work into those, this is the last week I'm going to take it easy on you. We gave you 2 weeks of buys, and I would also, because I believe that, you know what, I agree with everything. The effort that you could have put in, you probably could have done more, but I will give you D's because I wouldn't want you to flunk out these 2 weeks for that. That's my personal reasoning for that.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna knock you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
not gonna give you a great grade for this, but
yeah.
But all right, yeah, I agree with Frank.
D it is.
Boom.
All right, throw
Max, you said that begrudgingly.
Yeah,
well, just because it's a D. Like, it's not even a great wedding gift. Like, you want to give give him a great
the fuck this nigga gonna get a C or a B for not working out? The fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to call it a gift, then make it a great gift, right?
Nah. It's
just not an F.
All right.
Okay.
Throw some D's
right.
on it.
all right, good. All right, Steve. Yeah. Well, welcome back, dog. We want you to, keep it going, dog. All right, Frank, what you got for us?
Okay, y'all. I got 3 goals. My personal goal is to complete 4 music videos. My friend goal is to cook twice a week with 1 new recipe every week. And my community goal is to become a mentor for big brothers and big sisters. Now, let's start off with Big Brothers, Big Sisters. So I've been still reading The Body Keeps the Score. I've been digging into that, and it kind of reminds me of the book that I was reading previously, where it's In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts, which is about addiction. And this book is about trauma. So it's kind of weird that I'm looking at the books that I have, and there's so much psychology in there that I just feel so
trauma.
true. Yeah, because the thing is, a lot of addictions are caused by unresolved trauma. So I feel like as I'm going through this book, I'm also referring back to all the information that I learned from the previous book. So it's all kind of building on top of each other.
Yeah, this is basically like the prequel.
Yeah, I know, straight up. So I'm really excited to just keep diving into it. I got through another half chapter. I didn't finish a full chapter at this point because I'm also trying to finish In the Realm of Hungry Ghosts at the same time. So I'm kind of in the middle of both, where I'm just I still have 50 pages left in one book while I'm starting a new one, and I don't really like having so many books that I'm in the middle of. So that's kind of slowing down The Body Keeps the Score. But hopefully I can even these out and stop watching so much TV and or more realistically YouTube, and spend more of that time reading so I can actually get through these books a bit more. So for that, I would still give myself a B, because I didn't get as much through the book as I'd like to, but I'm still consistently reading it.
All right, you're reading a book. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah. All right, cool. Boom. So be on that bad boy. Let's move over to cooking. I cooked a buttery garlic chicken, which involved dicing garlic, and one of my favorite things in the world to do is dice garlic. I love garlic on everything.
Would have never guessed.
Well, the thing is, wow. I just really enjoy garlic on everything.
I know about
news
Frank.
to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would have lost that in the Frank trivia test.
Frank's top 5 favorite things to do. Chopping garlic. Oh, it's up there.
Top 5 favorite things to dice.
Number 3, garlic.
Really interested about 2 and 1 now, but keep going.
I want to watch this show about Frank trivia. All right, carry on.
But yeah, so it's just a lot of fun. When I was cooking back in the day more regularly, I throw that garlic on everything. So to have a recipe that involved garlic really intensely, I was super jazzed to do it. So I did that. It came out okay. I feel it could have gotten better, but I feel like starting next week, I'm going to be moving over to my other ketogenic cookbook, because if y'all remember, I bought 2 cookbooks at the beginning of the saga, and I've only been doing one, which was like a 5-ingredient one, but now that I've gotten a little more comfortable in the kitchen, I'm ready to try the keto comfort foods one. So I'm super jazzed about what I'm going to be making next week. But for this week, I only cooked the one time the new recipe. So for that, I think it's a C, because I should have probably cooked more. Everything else I ate throughout the week was frozen stuff. Frozen stuff that's good for me, but not actually making the stuff that I needed to.
You didn't craft it.
I did not craft it myself. It was pre-crafted, and I made it hotter.
Got it.
All right. Shout out to Panera Bread.
So that one time you cooked, that was a new meal?
That was that was a new recipe.
All right. Got it. I agree with the C.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, though.
Yeah.
I see.
Like a drink.
It's a low C to me. And I'm only agreeing with the C because it's a new meal. Frank, if this was a meal you already cooked and you only cooked once, I would opt for the D. So just keep that in mind. All right.
Okay.
Frank, Max let you know.
I'm just trying to be consistent with my grading. That's it.
Mm-hmm. No. I appreciate being put on notice. That's the whole idea. And look, I'm so much more ready for this next week. And
all right, bet.
Finally, my music videos, my 4+ music videos. Now, last week, I freaked out. I freaked out. I'm like, guys, I don't know if I'm even gonna finish these. I'm gonna finish these. It was just like, oh, I wonder what belt I'm gonna get. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm gonna finish these.
You were wondering what punishment you were gonna get. Yeah,
I'm like, what punishment am I gonna get? This is terrible. But I got rid of the party favors, the ones that I said I was gonna get rid of last week. So what I did is, in the past, when I had issues with party favors, I would just flush them down the toilet and be like, oh, I'm done, in very dramatic
How
fashion.
dramatic, yeah.
Yeah, very, just way too dramatic about it. As if I'm not going to go back to these party favors during recreational times when I don't have important things to do. I'm not going to go back to that. So instead what I did is I put it very far away from myself. Because the moment you make stuff inconvenient for yourself, you're just like, oh yeah, it's not worth it.
Factual.
So I just made it very inconvenient for myself. And because of that, I was able to work on one of the actual music videos from my challenge, which is, I think, my first time in 4 weeks. And I just flew through. I worked on it all of Friday night. I worked on it Saturday night. And I just put an entire music video together. The assembly's done, which for those who don't know, it's basically just kind of throwing everything on the timeline and getting a general idea of what it looks like.
That rough
So I got
cut.
the assembly completed for my music video.
Yeah.
And guys, it's trash.
Hey, that's step one, bro.
Holy shit.
You got a nice turd to polish, and that's progress.
And this is what I told Josh, I don't know how many weeks ago, but it's I'd rather you have the outline out there and bad, and then you could just make it better over time. And that's what I did. And man, when I saw because I filmed this last year. And this is my first time really putting it together, really seeing it from beginning, middle, and end. And I was just like, oh no. So now that I know what my true, like, what I'm facing, I think it's going to be a real interesting challenge, moving forward, especially for this video, to really like shave it down and move it around and adjust things to try and make it something that I'm proud of. Right.
So what grade do you give yourself?
I'll give myself an A.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Boom.
I like it.
Yeah.
Whew. But
I fuck with that.
Yeah. So
that's a good week,
hey,
Frank.
hey, you know what? I've had some not so great weeks before, but this is
Hey, give yourself a pat.
Hey, yeah, right now. Pat myself on the back on that, man.
I say two times pat.
Yeah.
All right, rhymes with sax. His name is Max. What you got for us?
Guys, I got 3 challenges.
Yeah.
My personal challenge is to enter 3 rock climbing competitions. My friend challenge is to release a 5-track violin EP. And my community goal is to support the Tech Workers Coalition. And this week, gentlemen, I've been all right.
Okay.
Tell us
I was
about
all
it.
right. So we can start with my personal goal. I got 2 workouts in, went to the gym, did some decent rock climbing, and I'm finally, guys, I might be progressing past the child rock climbing stages.
Ooh, amazing.
Which is good. So all the courses are numbered on their difficulty, and I've been on the 0s, 1s, and 2s, and this week I completed a 3 for the first time.
Ooh, look at you go.
What progress looks like. But I did want to get in at least one more. So I want to give myself a B because I feel like I'm progressing, but I do still want to work out more than I did this.
I'll take that B.
Okay. Yeah. Little by little, but yeah, I do really appreciate you fucking taking little steps forward. What's up?
Yeah. My friend goal for the violin. Didn't touch my violin this week, gentlemen.
God damn it.
Unfortunately.
Did you look at it?
And definitely I can only look at it. It's right at the top of my desk. I look at it all the time, guys. So my plan this week was to at least start notating some music down so I know what I need to practice in order to put it on the EP. But I didn't do that either. There's this program that I used a lot when I was in middle school to write music called Finale, where it's a program, you bring it up on your computer, it shows you like a empty sheet of music, you just tap on it to write notes and it'll play that song. You can print it out, print your own music. It's pretty fun. They stopped making it, which sucks. So I was gonna like print out music sheets and actually like write it on paper, right? But I didn't do that either. So that is my next step though. I definitely plan on doing that in the coming weeks. I'm gonna have to print out some music sheets and actually take note of this music so I can know what I need to practice. So
what grade would you give yourself, Max?
Stone Cold Fox. F.
Max,
Okay.
you got to pick up that violin.
You're absolutely correct.
You got to pick up that violin.
I picked up my banjo this
Holy
week, man.
shit. That's previous Saga work. He's still on that.
That's great. Yeah, I definitely do. I was actually entering that similar space that Frank was in last week where I was like, oh no, rubbing my beard. Like, guys, I might lose it, right? So I hope not to be in that space.
And I would just add, maybe if there's like an alternative to Finale, because maybe just that seems like an awesome program to exist, and it seems odd that no one would pick up the spiritual successor. So maybe some deeper Googling might net you some really cool programs.
Yeah, some alternatives.
Or take a page out of Bach and Mozart and write the shit.
Yeah. I mean, that's my plan right now, is to do it on paper. On my own. All right, last but not least is my community challenge. And this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about mainly today. Because I've been, aside from 1 week, I've gotten straight ups on this challenge, guys.
Yeah.
And that doesn't bode well for anybody.
Nope.
Because failure for one of us is a failure for all of us.
Yep.
So I do want to open this up a little bit.
Okay.
And have a conversation about what we can do. And when I say we, I mean me.
Okay. Thank you.
Because this has not been working out. So I think I got to do something different here. Perhaps join a different organization. Perhaps do another challenge altogether. But no, so I think what I would like to do here is kind of shift this over to having having more activity in an organization that has things to do on a daily or not daily, a weekly or bi-weekly basis, since the organization I initially envisioned does not do that on the regular. But so the homeboy I hit up a few weeks ago did put me down on the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, which typically does do some pro-union work, which is what Tech Workers Coalition also brings to the table. But they do a bunch of things outside of that, since there's not pro-union things to do on a weekly, daily basis. So I did want to open this up to join the DSA. They do have more events available. They have a book club that meets every month. So if I decide to go that route, I would definitely join in on that and also just be part of their monthly meetings. What does that sound like to you guys?
But what about the tech workers, though? Not just the coalition, but just like...
Yeah, so again, they do work that does benefit those groups every once in a while. And they're typically hand in hand. Actually, a lot of people are part of both of those groups. So I do feel like that does bring me closer to that group as well. But again, simply for having content here for everybody and not getting Fs every week, I feel like I have to broaden that so that there is weekly things for me to...
Yeah, finding something a bit more active.
So that... Because again, I'm not forgetting about that group, but at the same time, if I'm only talking about that group, again, I don't think I'm going to have things to talk about on a weekly basis.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna find something that keeps you proactive, I mean, I say go for it.
Frank, you seem like you have reservations there.
Those are the sounds of reservations. Is what that is. I'm just like, so there's like nothing. There's like nothing. There's no way that you're like, hey, maybe I could write a blog post for you guys, or hey, maybe there's something that we can do about organizing this, or I'm just like, if this is truly what's going on with these coalitions that are trying to help tech workers, then the tech workers are fucked. They are fucked forever.
Well, because that's the thing I want to...
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of background behind the scenes stuff.
And that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm like, dig into that stuff.
But stuff like legislation or
okay.
Well, I mean, Max isn't a lawyer, so I mean, my assumption is that there is not literally a tangible thing that he can do when a lot of their work is really piecemeal, or it's super behind the scenes that he has no access.
Or he could learn about it.
Might as well.
I think I'm trying to learn about it as best I can. I mean, I'm following them on all the different online spaces they have, and they're just not as active as we need it to be here. Not on a weekly basis.
I am for you switching to something where you can engage with.
And I would say it's not even a switch. It's just opening it up. I'm still going to be following along with them and volunteering where I can, but opening it up as well to another organization, I think would be beneficial as well.
I am very much for that, because you can't be getting Fs by just trying to find a scavenger hunt of the Tech Workers Association not doing anything.
No, I'm down with you doing anything for any organization that directly impacts the people that you want to help the most. I'm for that. Don't get me wrong on that.
Yeah.
But I just find it really difficult to believe that there is that there's nothing in San Francisco that is directly aiding tech workers to try and get better working conditions and things of that nature. But yeah, look, as far as opening up to other organizations, fuck yeah, yes, I'm down for that shit.
All right.
But
Steve,
yeah, I mean, I'm with the change too,
as a tech worker.
I guess I'm more. I don't know if there's a Josh or Frank side, but I would say more along the lines of what Josh is saying, that yeah, there's probably a lot of things going on in the background that Max may or may it might be difficult for him to just keep trying to wedge himself into, and I don't necessarily think it might be entirely worth it if they're doing something in the background. Maybe that's all that they need to be doing, and then Max shouldn't waste so much time and effort.
Yeah, and let me give you some more context, Frank. So even with the things I was previously involved in at my last role, a lot of that stuff, people don't want to be publicly linked to their activity in those groups. So it's not like there's nothing going on, but it is purposely secretive because people worry about retaliation they face for participating in pro-union activity. So being an outsider working your way in, it's like you really need to know somebody, and you have to like build that level of trust because people aren't going to be broadcasting every single action that their group is doing. So I think I'm just having trouble, finding someone that trusts me already to allow me into that circle because they're not broadcasting all of their activity for a good purpose. So
no, there's a great movie on Netflix that I recommend to everyone called American Factory, which is about this small steel factory that is looking to unionize.
Yeah.
And like all the work that goes into it. So like, yeah, and me being myself, having worked freelance for a bunch of years and then finally, having a steady job that I enjoy, I don't have a lot of experience being like, oh man, we gotta like work on the union. So I didn't really know too much about that. So that movie really opened my eyes to like, how treacherous it could be.
Right. Yeah. So, and I think that's what I'm trying to navigate right here, right now. And that's what I'm having difficulty with. And yeah, I don't think I should suffer on this podcast for those reasons because
facts.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying as well. Through DSA, I could build trust with somebody that is doing pro-union organizing, since a lot of pro-union people are in that organization, and that might lead to more things I can do to benefit tech workers in a pro-union space through joining an organization that is more public and gaining trust there.
Wow. That's love, bro.
Yeah.
That's the best love.
So,
all right, cool. So
I'm going to give myself a D.
Okay. All right. A D for transition.
Yes.
Fine, I'll take the D for transition.
All right. Thank you.
Steve?
I'll get D it is.
All right, great.
Josh.
All right, so my challenges were my community challenge was to get speed bumps installed in my community. My personal challenge was to write a one-person show, and my friend challenge was to remain sober. Gents, I am 50 days. I have 10 days.
Oh, shit.
I have 10 more days.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I have 10 more days in my 60 consecutive day count to be sober. It is going to fall on my birthday, and I'll tell you right now, I'm going to get lit as fuck. Straight up. And then I'm going to continue my sobriety for an additional 30 days, gracefully competing this challenge.
Wow.
And honestly, Steve, going through your wedding was rather difficult. Especially after karaoke, you just kept bringing in bottles.
There was so much alcohol at the karaoke.
There was so much alcohol. But honestly, watching certain people in the party of drunkenness, I was actually rather turned off by the flat out debauchery. So it was I was fine. I was fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was fine being sober in that situation. As far as my personal challenge goes, I have not written my one-person show. I have not looked at it. I've not done anything. I actually am suffering from a bit of what Frank got involved with. Is that taking on other projects? I got hired to be a producer on a project, and they're paying me a good amount of money. So my focus has been there. And then I recently decided to start a business, so my focus has been there. I am working on things as a person, but not for my one person show.
Welcome to that fear.
But I will remain diligent because I think a lot in the process of me working on outside things, I am conceptualizing content.
We don't reward conceptual.
You know what grades we give conceptual work.
Yes. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Cool.
So on my sobriety, I got an A. For this, I got an F. As far as my community impact project, I'm currently on like a buy because the local government said they're going to be looking into how to solve the speed bumps, but I didn't want to wait for that. I decided last week I wanted to help join a campaign of a candidate that I support. They didn't have any events this week. The next event is October 26th. Or they had something last week, but we were in Utah and stuff like that. So I looked up an event. They're doing like a door knocking session on October 26th, which I might just go to. But I signed up, and I did, to compensate for the lack of me not being anything. I also contributed to the campaign, and I'm on a reoccurring schedule with that campaign that I support. But then I was like, you know what, Josh? I'm going to even go further than that. There's actually a community organization called Engage Miami, and they are a pro-democracy, pro-voting rights, pro, getting people involved organization. Yes. So I actually signed up for them They did also have events that were over the past weekend, so I couldn't attend. But I joined them by sending in my like a application of sorts, telling them about myself, and I'm gonna get the newsletter on when the next event is. I think they meet like once a month at a spot near my house, so I can immediately get involved. So I think for that, I give myself an A.
I love it. I love that. And that's the kind of thing that I was like hoping that Max could find.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, I can on that stuff. So that's kind of what I was looking for in Max's challenge. So the fact that you found something similar to that Miami based, like I love it. A plus, my friend.
Thanks, Doc. And as far as what I'm gonna do next week for my one person show, I did take this weekend to I stayed my ass home, so that was nice. I've been running around and just using my time a lot and giving time to myself to a lot of people, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but by staying home all day yesterday and really just like doing things that I need to do, it was really empowering, and I'm like, I need to do this more often. I've been involving myself in like improv and like other things of that nature, like outside of myself, but I haven't really been going out that much, but I am going to, as I said last week, like time management is something I really want to prioritize, and I already started doing that this week. So I think I'm going to continue just to go further and really nail down times of the day where I'm going to do said things. So
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. So that concludes our challenge checkup. The road is being a bit rocky, but I think there's still fate. Fans of Team Steve, I'm sure, are cheering for your weddingness, but they're also hyping you up to get back on the horse.
Yeehaw.
Max, climb that rock, Bunchy. Frank, time that line. And Josh, won that person. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, y'all boys fans. This is Party C. I know spooky season is gonna have all the bitches in sexy outfits, but word for all you touchy niggas. Just because I'm in a sexy outfit don't mean you can touch. Think twice about grabbing an ass or grabbing some titties. These days a motherfucker finna go to jail if they touch something. So, repeat after me. Sexy costume don't mean consent. Oh, grrr. Ow. Happy Halloween.
And now is the time for our final segment, Rosebud Thorn. Cue sound.
Oh, I got my rose, I got my bud, I got my thorn. Here is the rose and the thorn and the bud of the week. I got my rose and my thorn and my bud.
Rosebud Thorn is an opportunity for us to give gratitude, grace, and overall respect for our week. Your rose is something that happened that you were really grateful for, or that was just plain awesome. Your bud is something that you're looking forward to, and your thorn is something that was like, thorn in your side. So, all right, Max, what you got?
I got a thorn, I got a rose, I got a bud. My thorn this week is I had a doctor's appointment, which is generally a good thing. But I found out, despite how much I feel like a snack, I'm at the upper weight limit for someone that's not considered overweight. And if I gain any more weight, I'm in that range.
Oh,
yeah.
Snap.
Yeah. Which was, the doctor broke it down for me. Like, oh, if you've been working out, muscle weighs more than fat and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, you right. But I still don't like that I'm there. So I got to start making some changes, guys. So I got to figure out what that is. Probably just make sure my diet is as good as my workout routine, because I feel like I've been pretty consistent with that. I just got to get the diet to match. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I feel you very much.
Yeah. My rose, Pandora put on an amazing event this week called Sway Fest. So Sway Calloway, host of Sway in the Morning on SiriusXM,
Does he have the answers?
He did have the answers, actually. So he's from Oakland. He put on a huge block party in Oakland. He invited a bunch of Oakland legends to perform for free for Oakland. Nice. And it was right outside the Pandora office. So it looked hella good for us. I got to see G-Eazy perform live. I got to see Mr. Fab, who's an Oakland legend. Sheila E., this amazing drummer from Oakland. Just a bunch of really dope stuff. And they had a bunch of really cool things for us. So it was pretty dope. And it was a great way to have a Friday. So Hooray, Swayfest. Hopefully they do it again next year. And my bud, I think this was my bud last week too, but I'm still excited to go to Atlanta. I'm leaving on Monday. I'll be there for most of the week, and I've never been to Atlanta before, but that's also one of the cities on my short list for Maximo Santana's ultimate destination for where he wants to make sure the rest of his life is fine and dandy. So I'll be scoping out Atlanta, seeing what it's about, seeing if it's
Ruben's out there.
I know, yeah. I'm definitely gonna hit him up. I told him I was gonna be out there when I saw him at your wedding, so we're gonna hang out and all that fun stuff. So can't wait to be in Atlanta. That is my bud.
Cool. That's great. All right, cool. Frank, what you got?
All right, I got in a world with thorn, roses, and buds, I have one of each. My thorn is I got sick, man. I don't know whether it was like the cold of Utah. I don't know whether it's my shitty diet of the first half of this week. I don't know what it was, but I've been kind of like feeling like I don't know if it's because I dropped all the party favors in the middle of the week. Whatever it is, it ended up with me feeling like garbage basically for the second half of the week and parts of yesterday, where I was just kind of like had this headache. I felt like my arms and my legs weren't working as well as they used to, and I'm just like, am I just actually sick? And because of my fucking personality, I'm just like, no, I'm not sick. Like, I don't allow myself to be sick. I'm like, no, you can't be sick. That's not that don't make sense. Okay. So I should probably take it a bit easier on myself, which is what I've been doing so far this weekend. But yeah, being sick sucks. My rose, on the other hand, is I am killing it at work.
Hey.
I am super jazzed. So we recorded on Tuesday night last week for our previous episode.
Yeah.
And I needed to finish this one project.
Oh my God.
Like super fast. So like I've never designed anything quicker in my life, and I'm just like, this is probably trash. Probably trash. The next morning, my boss comes in and is just like, yo, they loved it. And I was just like, so that felt amazing. And I not only that, I also did another piece throughout that week, which I was impressed by myself. I'm just like, oh wow, this came out like really, really good. So I'm just like super. So in the background of my life, I realized I've just been really getting really good at design, and I was just like, I feel really good about it. So that's 100% my rose.
Nice.
And my bud, I kind of mentioned it a bit earlier, but I'm starting that new book, the Keto Comfort Foods, this week. So I'm really excited to try those recipes out. Like it's stuff like chicken fried steak and biscuits and gravy and stuff that's typically like really terrible for you, but like there's healthy ways to make it. So I'm really excited to try those foods out in a healthy way, and that is I'm super excited for.
So Steve.
So my thorn this week started in Vegas. I hit the little casinos because they're literally everywhere, and I had a little set budget for the roulette tables because my homie Sean put me down on them last year, and I had a blast. I'm like, man, this is fun. Winning money is fun. Putting everything on the line based on probability and sets is fun. And yeah, it wasn't so much fun when I went with Celeste and I was kind of showing her the ropes, and I lost my money before she did, and then she lost her money too. And yeah, that was a bit of a sting. But what really got me is I had a little extra money left. And I was like, Celeste, please, we can win it all back. Like, let's just go. And then this leads into my rose, in that she was like, no, I don't think that's a good idea, Steve. And I was like, you know what? You are completely right. And I think that was my real first taste of the married life, in having to just accept that I can't just wild out whenever I want. Like, there's a whole nother person attached to me, and that person also makes really good decisions a lot of the times. And
to think if you guys were married when you were really into crypto.
Oh my God,
that would have saved so much money.
I would have came out on top on that. But look at that. So yeah, being married is awesome, and yeah, every aspect of it has been awesome. Looking at the ring every now and then, I was like, ooh, and yeah. So my bud for this upcoming week or weeks to come is all this pressure I no longer feel of having to plan a wedding and just coordinate this massive event. And ever since the wedding, I felt light as a feather, like just more level-headed and just
nice.
Yeah, more at ease. And I'm excited of what's to come and what I'm going to be able to make and put my energy into.
Hey.
Beautiful. Josh.
All right, my rose, my thorn, my bud. My rose this week was that I got an opportunity to be a boss this week. Unfortunately, my coworker had like a family emergency, but that being said, I got a chance to step in and fill like a superior role. I'm still getting paid the same, but the work is a little bit different, slightly less work in one area, a little more work in another area. And I've been trying, I've been in charge of sales and selling offices and following up with leads and stuff like that using Salesforce.
Mr. Bossman.
So it is kind of cool. And the fact that like I was able to step up to the plate and my boss kind of gave me props and just being on it. And it's kind of cool learning a new aspect of my job. But, it's more challenging and I haven't really been challenged in a while. So that's kind of dope. Beautiful. My thorn is this week I got a tune-up for my car. And the mechanic was like, hey, man, I was like, yo, how often do I need to get a tune-up? And he's like, yeah, well, you get it when there's like an issue that's really obvious. But he's like, hey, man, it's going to be time to retire this soon.
Oh,
and
shit.
I was like, damn, how long I got, boss? And he was like, I don't know, like 40,000 miles. I was like, all right. He's like, it just needs a lot of work. You need a new drivetrain, a new beltway, a new zip, zap, zoop, boop, boop. Yeah. And he's like, at a certain point, you just got to ask yourself, do I want to keep spending money on the car or just get a new one? And I was
that's a good mechanic right there, number one, because he could have just taken all the money for all that work if he wanted to.
Could have charged you for a dingbat.
Yeah.
So that was not good to hear. I'm still gonna wrap my baby out to the ground. So,
God. Hey, man, you might be in the car when it gets routed to the ground, so you need to watch out for that shit.
So be careful, please.
Yeah.
I maintain it very carefully, so
right.
Let's hope I survive that. And my bud is that next week I'm doing the Moth Storytelling Slam, the Grand Slam.
That's awesome.
What is that?
It's the 10 winners from the past year are duking it out to tell a brand new story under a brand new theme. I had a phone call with one of the Story Slam coaches, and they kind of gave me some pointers. And I'm excited. I think I'm gonna do really well. I think I have an advantage because I'm an actor, but who knows?
Yeah.
What is Story Slam? Is what I was like.
Say that again.
What is Story Slam?
Look it up. It's a podcast called The Moth, and it's literally kind of like a poetry slam where you go up and do a poem and you get judged for it. They give you a theme and you put your name in a hat, and if you get chosen, you go up and you tell a 5-minute story, and then you get judged for it.
Perfect.
And I won the regular one, but then after a couple months, they gather all the winners that have won throughout the year, and they pit them against each other. So, and I'm going to be performing in the really big theater, so that's really awesome, and I'm really excited about that.
Nice. I would go for candles. Moths love candles.
Oh my God, we've said this before.
Moth memes were like really hot 2 years ago.
Oh my God. On that note,
we've talked about moth memes so often.
We talk about moth memes way too much. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, now's the time to come to the end of the episode. We appreciate your support and love and our mission. Shout out to Team Steve. Shout out to Team Frank. Shout out to Team Max. Shout out to Josh.
Not Team
and the
Josh.
team, that's
Why
a part of it.
Team Josh?
Yeah. Team Josh would be really disappointed they didn't get a shout out.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Up, man.
Shout out to Team Josh. Once again, thank you for your endless support. If you like what you hear, tell a friend, share a post, like us on Instagram, like us on Twitter, give us a review on Apple Podcasts, and just give us love because we need it. Because like everybody does.
Everyone needs
We'll
love.
see you next week, y'all. Good luck on your trip to the top. We have a couple shout outs we want to give. Shout out to Adian Lewis for our interstitial music, to Geno Music for our wonderful theme song called Won't Stop. To learn more about our challenges, go to y'allboystalkin.com or follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at y'allboystalkin. New episodes every single Wednesday.